In today's session, we are going to discuss about DML statements, and we will see what exactly a DML statement and what it indicates. Why should we go for DML statements in Apex programming, and what are the various ways that we have in Apex programming to perform the DML operations? And upon using this DML statement, what are the various governor limits that has been imposed by Salesforce? And what are the various DML statements that we have in Apex programming? We'll see one by one. And what kind of steps, what kind of best practices we used to follow upon using this DML statements? We'll see one by one. Okay. Now, so now tell me, what do you mean by DML?
Data
DML stands
manipulation
for
language. Data manipulation language.
data manipulation language. DML stands for data manipulation language. Then what do you mean by data? Data means what? Records. Data means records. Manipulation means now changing the data. That means what? Performing some operations on the data. Performing some operations on the data. Data means records. Now, by using this DML statements, we can perform the operations on your Salesforce object record. As part of Salesforce account, upon creating a new Salesforce account, by default, Salesforce provides the Salesforce CRM application, okay, as for free of cost. So, whenever the user is going to be utilizing the Salesforce account, by default, for each user, Salesforce provides Salesforce CRM application, which contains the functionalities to automate sales, service, and the marketing processes. So, in order to automate your sales processes, service processes, and the marketing processes of your organization, whatever the features are required, all those features are available as part of CRM application. Now, so now by using this sales, service, and the marketing application, we are storing some data. We are storing our records. We are storing our customers' data, leads data, campaigns data, products data, orders data, contracts data. Then where this whole data will get resides, the data will be residing inside Salesforce objects. The data will store in the form of tables. Those tables are called as objects in Salesforce. Now, as part of Salesforce, we have two types of objects. What are those two types? Standard, custom objects. So now, where all these objects will get stored inside the database. What is the database of Salesforce? Database.com. Database.com is the customized database of Salesforce where all the Salesforce objects and the records will get resides. Now, so once the objects are available inside this database.com, in some cases, I want to perform certain operations on the records. Sometimes I want to insert some new records. Sometimes I want to modify the existing records. I want to delete some existing records. I want to restore the deleted records back. So I want to perform certain operations on those records. So in order to perform the operations on the records inside your Salesforce objects, we are using the help of a feature called as DML statements. By using this DML statements, we can perform the required operations on your Salesforce object records. Now, so in this case, upon performing the operations on your object records, in Apex programming, we have two ways are available. Apex provides two ways to perform the DML operations on your object records. First one, by using DML statements. First one, by using DML statements. Second one with the help of database class methods. Okay, second one with the help of database class methods. These are the two ways are available over here. As part of Apex programming, we have two ways are available here. Now, so now here in this case here, so whenever we are performing the DML operations on your object records, we have two ways. First one by using DML statements, second one by using database class methods. Now, already we have used database class in the previous sessions. In the previous sessions, during dynamic SQL query, we have used database.query method, database.count query method. Two methods we have used. In that database class, we have some more methods are available which we can use to perform the DML operations on your object records. Now, by using DML statements, we can perform the required operations on the Salesforce object records. Salesforce object records. Now, we can perform the operations on both standard and custom object records. Now, we can perform the operations on both standard and custom object records. Apex provides Apex provides the below two ways to perform the DML operations on the records. First one by using DML statements. Second one by using database class methods. We have two ways are available to perform the DML operations on your object records. First way is we can use the help of DML statements. As part of Apex programming, we are having 6 DML statements are available. Apex provides 6 DML statements to be get performed on your object records. Like we have insert, update, upsert, delete, undelete, and merge. These are the 6 DML statements. Insert, update, delete, undelete, upsert, and the merge. Total 6 DML statements are available which we can use to perform the operations on your object records. It may be one record, it may be multiple records also, we can perform the operation. It may be one object record, it may be multiple object records also, we can perform the operation. So that here, to perform the DML operations, we have 6 DML statements are available in Apex programming. Okay, now, this is one way. Second way is Salesforce provides a built-in class called as a database. Database is a built-in class which has been given by Salesforce by default over here. Okay, database is a built-in class. We have a ready-made class called as a database which provides a collection of built-in methods. All are static methods. All are static methods which can be accessible with the help of class name dot method name. That's what we have called database dot query, database dot count query methods. So we haven't created any object of this database class. So now here in this case, database is a built-in class given by Salesforce which can be used to interact with your Salesforce objects through programming. In order to connect with your Salesforce object through programming to perform the required operations on your object records, we can use the help of database class. So now in this database class, we have so many built-in methods are available here. We have so many ready-made methods are available which we can use to perform the DML operations. Now, so here you can raise a question, sir, already we have DML statements to do these operations, then what is the need of these database class methods? In DML statements, we have few limitations. There are few drawbacks are available in DML statements. We'll see at the end of the DML statement concept over there. I will tell you what are those drawbacks that we have, how to overcome those drawbacks for using database class methods, what specialities that we have in this one, why should we go for database class methods, we'll see one by one. Now, so now in this case, as part of this database class, we have some collection of built-in instance methods are available, like database dot insert, database dot update, database dot delete, database dot undelete, database dot absurd, database dot merge, database dot empty recycle bin. Like that here, we have so many built-in methods are available which we can use to perform the DML operations on your Salesforce object records. So to perform the DML operations, we can use either DML statements also, or we can use the database class methods also. Any one of this mechanism we can use. Now, in this case, while using this DML statements or database class methods to perform the DML operations, Salesforce has given few governor limits. We have few governor limits are available. Then how many DML statements that we can use per transaction? How many DML statements? 20? No? Hmm. Salesforce has given the limitation that we can able to perform or we can use a maximum of 150 DML statements per transaction. We can use 150 DML statements. DML statements are 150, SOQL queries are 100, SOSL queries are 20 here. Okay, we are having few limitations. So in this case, within a single transaction, we can use maximum of 150 DML statements, not more than that. Those all the 150 may be insert also, all the 150 may be update or delete or combination of all these DML statements also, including database class methods. So now we can use maximum of 150 DML statements per transaction, not more than that. When you try to use more than 150 DML statements, it will hit the governor limit. It will show the exception message, system dot limit exception, too many DML statements, 151 exception will be getting arised. It will raise the exception, too many DML statements, 151. Okay? Now, this is the first limitation here. Second governor limit is whenever we are performing the DML operation through DML statements, each DML statement is having the capability to process maximum 10,000 records. Each DML statement can process, it may be insert or update or delete or undelete, whatever anything, each DML statement can process maximum of 10,000 records at a time. Suppose if I am inserting 1 lakh records, then whatever the 1 lakh records that I have supplied, then DML statement will divide this 1 lakh records into 10,000, 10,000, 10,000 like that pieces. It will divide the records to various pieces. It will perform the operations on those records. Okay. So now these are the two governor limits are available as part of DML statements. First governor limit is we can use maximum 150 DML statements per transaction. Second one, each DML statement can process maximum of 10,000 records. Okay. Now, to avoid these governor limits, to bypass these governor limits, we are following some best practices. Then what are those best practices we used to follow? The first one, whenever we are using this DML statements, don't write any DML statements inside the for loop. Don't write any DML statements inside the for loop. Why? Because if the for loop is repeating for 150 times, then fine. Because inside the for loop, we are writing some DML statement. For loop will be executing for 150 times over here. So 150 DML statements it will use. We have the limitation of 150. Okay, fine. Suppose if the for loop is repeating for more than 150 times, at the time of 151st the time it will be hitting the governor limit. So that it will be cancelling all your transaction, all the previous 150 operations will get cancelled. So that here, as part of this okay, DML statements, don't write any DML statements inside the for loop. Okay, this is the first best practice. Second best practice is always follow bulkification mechanism. Upon performing the DML operations on the object records, please follow bulkification mechanism. Then what do you mean by bulkification mechanism? Hmm. Right. Instead of performing the operation on each record separately, combine all the records into a single collection, perform the operations on collection of records at a time here. So that here, always we have to follow bulkification mechanism over here. These are the two best practices we used to follow upon using DML statements. Clear? Understood the concept? Now, make a note of this one. First one, DML statements. Apex provides the below six DML statements which can be used to perform the operations on the object records. First one, insert. Second one, update. Third one, delete. Fourth one, undelete. Fifth one, upsert. Sixth one, merge. These are the six DML statements. Apex provides a built-in class called as database, which is used to interact with the Salesforce objects through programmatically, and we can perform the required operations on the records. It provides a collection of built-in static methods as below. First one, database dot insert method. Second one, database dot update. Database dot delete. Database dot undelete. Database dot upsert. Database dot match. Database dot empty recycle bin. Like that, we are having various methods are available. Then up to this part, DML statements. non-elements. We can use maximum of 150 DML statements within a single transaction. If the user tries to use more than 150 DML statements, then it will raise an exception system dot limit exception too many DML statements 151. Second one, each DML statement can process maximum of 10,000 records at a time. For this one, we are following few best practices. Now, it is always recommended to avoid the usage of DML statements inside the for loop. That is, don't use the DML statements inside the for loop. Second one, always use bulkification or bulkify mechanism to perform the operations on the records. Upon performing the operations on the record, always you have to follow bulkification mechanism. Then up to this part, right? Yes, that's what here. Because here, if the for loop is iterating for till 150 times, then okay, fine. Because we have 150 DML statement. If the for loop is repeating for 200 times, 300 times, in that case, Then at the time of 151th time, it will hit the governor limit. It will cancel all the previous 150 operations. Sorry, no truncate.
Sir, I have a doubt, sir. So the 150 statements will not be executed, like the operation will not be performed on them.
Mhm.
Is that true, sir? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, 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 because it will be having 150 DML statements. That means what?
Uh-huh.
Whenever we are going to be performing the operations on the records,
Hmm.
suppose I'm inserting account records and the related contacts, related opportunities. So to insert the account records, one DML statement. To update
Correct.
the account, to insert the contact, one more DML. To insert the daily opportunity, one more insert statement. So three we are using. Like that, we can use 150 DML statements in one go.
Okay,
Upon
okay,
click on a button control, in one go, we can use maximum 150 DML statements.
okay. So when there is a 151st statement, it will say it will throw an exception. So
It
that
will throw an
150,
exception. The previous 150 will be getting cancelled.
oh, it will get cancelled. So it will not
It will
perform the
get cancelled. The
operation.
whole operation, the whole transaction will get rolled back.
Oh, okay, okay, sir. Okay, got it, sir. Thank you.
Done with this? Now, so let's see how can we use each and every DML statement. So please make sure that upon using the DML statements, we can use maximum 150 DML statements per transaction, not more than that. Okay. Suppose if you are using 155 DML statements, first DML statement has been done, second one done, third one done, fourth one done, 150 has been done. Now at the time of 151st time, it will hit the ground limit. It will cancel this operation here. Once it is cancelling this operation, whatever the previous 150 DML statement that we did as of now, those things will be getting cancelled automatically. That means the whole transaction will get rolled back. Okay, the whole transaction will get rolled back automatically by default. Okay, now, like for example, simple concept here. Assume that I'm withdrawing some money from an ATM machine. So I have swiped my card, I have entered the PIN number, I have selected the transaction type as withdrawal, I have entered the savings account, I have entered the amount also. Once I click on this yes button, it has to give the money to me here. But suppose, for example, the sufficient funds are not there in the ATM machine. Sufficient funds are not available here. In that case, ATM will not be giving the money to you here. In that case, what about your funds? Before giving the money, money has been directed from my account already. Then ATM did not give in the money to me. Then what will happen in this case? It will roll back the complete operation. So whatever the operations has been done as part of this transaction, all the operations will be getting reversed. So because here, as part of this transaction, it has deducted the money from your account here. Those amount will be getting returned back to your account automatically here. Okay, that means what here? If any of the operation has been cancelled, if any of the operation has been failed, the whole transaction will get rolled back automatically. That's what here, upon performing the DML operations on the records, if you are using 150 DML operations, if any of the operation is failed, all the previous operations will get cancelled. That is the functionality of DML statements over here. Now, that's what here DML statements are purely atomic statements. Atomic means what here? Atom in the sense one. Only one result, either success or cancel, not partial. Like some records inserted, some records are failed, not like that here. Either complete or either cancel. Only one. Because here DML statements are purely atomic statements. Atomic means only one result, either success or fail. Okay. Now, like as your results, if you got passed in all the subjects, then only will be pass. If you are failed in any one of the exam, then you will be fail. Okay, only one, not partial. Here also. Okay. Now, so now these are the various ways are available to perform the DML operations, and these are the governor limits we have to keep in mind upon writing the piece of code, and these are the best practices we use to adopt upon writing the piece of code. Now, initially, let's go with the DML statements. So let's go with the DML statements to perform the operation. Once the DML statements are done, then we'll move forward to database class methods. Okay. Then we'll identify what drawbacks are available in DML statements, what benefits that we have in database class methods. We'll see one by one. Okay. So now as part of this DML statements, we are having the first DML statement, insert. Insert statement. You know how to use this insert statement already. You know that concept here. We have discussed in so many examples. During ORM concept also, we have discussed how to insert single record, how to insert bulk records, how to insert related records. We have discussed. Okay. Now, we have done with that concept of bulkification also here. Have we done with this feature? Bulkification or bulkify feature as part of collections. Bulkification feature not yet done? No. Okay. We'll see that part over here. Now, so now here in this case, whenever we are going to be inserting the records inside your Salesforce object, then how can we insert? Now, let me explain one by one. How to insert bulk records at a time, how to use this bulkification mechanism, what is this bulkification or bulkify process, I will explain one by one here. Now tell me, what do you mean by this insert statement? This is for what? Inserting the records over here. Only one record or multiple? Multiple also over here. Now, Basically, insert statement is used to insert either one record or a group of records into the object at a time. Not only insert a single record, we can insert multiple records also inside the object at a time with the help of insert statement. Now, in this case, whenever we are inserting the records inside this object, do we need to pass a value for all the mandatory fields? Hmm. Do we need to pass a value for mandatory fields or not? Yes, compulsorily. You may be using any mechanism. It may be through data loader also, through import wizard also, through Apex programming also, through page layout also, integration also, whatever. Upon creating the records inside the object, whatever the required fields, whatever the mandatory fields that we have, for each mandatory fields, we need to pass a value here. If I'm not passing the value for any of the mandatory field, the whole record operation will get cancelled. Okay, the whole record operation will get cancelled if the record is not having the value for any one of the mandatory field. Please remember the point here. So, upon inserting the record, always we have to supply the value for all the mandatory fields over here. Clear? Now, so now here in this case here, whenever we are going to be inserting the records inside the object, don't pass a value for few fields. What fields? Don't pass a value for ID field because ID value will be generating by Salesforce. Created by, generating by Salesforce. Last modified by, generating by Salesforce. If there is any auto number fields are available, who will generate the value for auto number fields? Salesforce. We have formula fields are available. Who will generate the value for this? Salesforce. Roll up summary fields are there. Who will generate the value? Salesforce. So these fields are read only fields. Don't pass the value for ID field. Don't pass the value for created by, last modified by, auto number field, formula fields, roll up summary fields. For these fields, don't supply the values because these values are automatically generating by Salesforce. These fields are read only fields whose value cannot be editable, whose value cannot be writable. So when we try to pass a value for the field, it will show the exception message, field cannot be writable over here. It will show the error message. The record operation will be getting cancelled. So that here, don't pass the values for read-only fields. That means system-generated fields. Clear? Now, then how can we insert the records? What is the syntax we used to follow? Now let me explain. Okay? Make a note of this one. By using insert statement, we can insert either one or multiple records inside the object. By using insert statement, we can insert either one or multiple records inside the object through programming. While inserting the records, we have to supply the values for all the required fields. We have to supply the values for all the required fields. Now, don't supply the values for the system generated fields. That is, read only fields. For example, ID created by, last modified by, auto number, formula, and the roll up summary fields. because these are the system generated fields. Now the syntax. Inserting only one record. If I'm inserting only one record, how can we pass the values? In that case, we can specify insert the record reference name. Where exactly the record details has been stored, place that record reference name to this insert step. Second one, inserting multiple records. We can specify insert the collection name where exactly the records has been placed. Third syntax, by using database class method. In that case, we have to use database dot insert. Here we have to pass the collection name and the Boolean parameter, which returns the result in the form of database dot save result array. This is the syntax. Done with this? Now, so let me show you how can we use this insert statement in order to insert the record. Here we are talking about this part over here. Database class we'll see later, but I'm giving the syntaxes here itself. Database class methods we'll see later at the last. Okay, after this DML statements, we'll see what drawbacks are there, how to overcome through database class methods, we'll see over there. Now, as of now, we know how to insert a single record. How to insert multiple records inside the object, let me show you with a practical here. Take a small use case. Write an Apex program to insert 200 hiring manager records inside the object. Write an Apex program to insert 200 hiring manager records inside the object. I want to insert 200 records. Done with this? Now, let's see how can we insert 200 records inside my object. Let me show you with practical. I'm going to my Salesforce org now. Now I'm going to my hiring manager object now. Hiring manager is my custom object, which is having some set of fields. Like let me go to my hiring manager object. Now tell me how many records are available over here. 16 records, 1 6. Okay, 1 6. As of now, we have 16 records are available inside my hiring manager object. Now I would like to insert 200 hiring manager records inside my object now. 200 hiring manager records I want to insert. How to insert? Now let me explain. Let's see. Let me go to the developer console. Let me prepare an Apex class. Now I'm preparing an Apex class to store all the DML operations related piece of code. Click on Apex class. I'm indicating the class name as DML operations helper. I'm creating a class with the name DML operations helper. I'm preparing the method. Public static void insert bulk HR records. I'm preparing the method with the name insert bulk HR records. I want to insert bulk records. That means 200 records I'm inserting at a time. Okay. Now, let's see. Then how can we write generally? In order to execute that piece of code, we are going to inserting the hiring manager record code once. The same code we are repeatedly executing till 200 times over. To insert multiple records, we are going to be executing the same code till 200 times over. Observe what will happen in this case. Now I am using a for loop for integer counter equals to 1, counter less than or equals to 200, counter plus plus. Counter plus plus. That means I'm using a for loop. The for loop is repeating from 1 to till it is reaching to 200 times here. Every time the value will be incrementing by 1. Now, so now in each iteration, I want to insert one hiring manager record here. Here, write the code to insert a hiring manager record. Then how can we insert the hiring manager record? You know, create the object of the hiring manager class, supply the value for each and every field by using object name dot field name, supply the values, insert the records. Now in this case, I'm creating the object of this class. Hiring manager, some HR record equals to new hiring manager. I'm creating the object of this hiring manager class. Now I want to pass a value for each and every field. HR record dot name. I'm passing the value test HR record hyphen counter. See, instead of giving the same name for all the records, what I'm doing here, I'm changing the names here. Now I'm giving the name as test HR record hyphen counter. Whatever the counter value is available, that value I'm going to be appending to this particular name. So the first record name is test HR record hyphen 1. Second record name test HR record hyphen 2. Third record test HR record hyphen 3. Like that here up to 200. Okay. I'm passing the value. HR record dot location. I'm passing the value Bangalore. HR record dot email address. Yes, yes. Test HR record plus counter plus at the rate some gmail.com. So now here I'm preparing the email ID here. Test HR record plus counter, that means 1. Test HR record 1 at the rate gmail.com. Second record the email ID test HR record 2 at the rate gmail.com. Like that, test HR record 200 at the rate gmail.com, like this. HR record dot designation. I'm passing the value HR executive. HR record dot, I'm indicating contact number. I'm passing some value. Current CTC, I'm passing the value 14 lakhs. Employment type, I'm giving the value contract. These are the values we have supplied over here. Once the values has been supplied, I would like to insert hiring manager record. Okay. Previously, to insert the hiring manager records, this is a piece of code we have written. But now what I want to do, I want to insert how many records? 200. That's what I'm writing this piece of code inside that for loop. Inside the for loop I'm writing, because for loop will be keep on executing till 200 times here. Clear? Understood the concept here? Now. So now that already told you here. Whenever I'm executing this a piece of code, that means upon invoking the method will execute this business logic. This business logic will be executing the for loop. How many times? 200 times. Now, first time when the counter value is 1, it is preparing one hiring manager record over here. It is inserting. That means how many DML statements you have used here? 1. Next, for loop will be value will be 2, counter value will be 2. It is preparing the HR record again. It will insert the record. That means second DML statement we have used. Third iteration, third DML statement. Fourth iteration, fourth DML statement. 150 iterations, 150 DML statements. But the for loop is repeating till what number here? 200. At the time of 151, the time here, it will hit the ground error message. So now this record cannot be inserted. Once this record is failed, all the previous 150 records insertion will get cancelled. These will be automatically cancelled. Okay. Now, so now here in this case here, how can we do this? How to implement this functionality over here? What can I do? That's what. That's what I'm coming to do. Hmm. Okay. Now, so now here in this case here, whenever I'm writing this DML statements inside the for loop, so now upon calling this method, for loop will be executing 200 times. In each iteration, one DML statement it will use, but total 200 DML statements, but that is not at all possible. We can use up to 150 only. Okay. Now, so now here in this case, don't insert, okay, don't write this DML statements inside the for loop. Don't write the DML statements inside the for loop. Remove this. Okay, understood the concept here. Then what we are going to do, instead of inserting each record separately, we are going to be inserting bulk records in one shot. Bulk records in one shot. Understood the concept here? Now, so why should we go for that? Now let me explain. Let me explain a small general scenario so that you can understand very easy. Let me check for a small diagram so that you can understand. I think I haven't saved that code with the picture. I think I haven't saved that picture here. Okay, let me go with this process here. Now, suppose for example here, let me explain the scenario. For example, today I went to the supermarket here to buy some items. I want to buy few vegetables also, like as potato. I want to buy some grapes. I want to buy a shampoo bottle. I want to buy some onions. These are the four items I want to buy. Okay, I want to buy potato and then grapes and a shampoo bottle and onions. These are the four items I want to purchase from the supermarket. I went to the supermarket here. Whatever the items are providing to the customers, all the items are arranging in the various racks. All the vegetables in one place, fruits in another place, cosmetic items in another place, soaps and shampoos in another place here, detergents in another place, dal and other items in another place. Like that, they are arranging the items in different places. Now, now I want to buy these four items here. Here we have two scenarios will come into the picture. Let me explain. First scenario. So now here I will go to the supermarket. I will take that potato and then I will go to the billing counter. I will make the pay. Then I will enter into the supermarket again. I will go to that fruits place. I will take some grapes. I will go to the billing counter. I will make the payment. I will be entering into the supermarket again. I will go to the shampoos place. I will take a shampoo bottle. I will go to the billing counter. I will make the payment. Then I will enter into the supermarket again. I will go to that onions place. I will take some 2 kgs of onions. I'm going to the billing counter. I will make the payment. So now this is the process here. Now, will you follow this approach here? Why? Why
There
don't you
would
follow this approach? Sorry? Time taking mechanism, right? That means what? To take the item, it will take hardly, okay, 30 seconds to 1 minute to set the item here. But to make the payment, it will take more time. Suppose if it is a weekend, then there will be a lengthy queue, so the situation will be a bit horrible. We need to stay in the queue for a long time to make the payment here. In this case, if you are making the payment for each and every item separately, one by one, one by one, one by one, it will be killing my time here. This is the problem. For that one, what we will do at one time. So now here in this case, let's see. In this case here, what we are doing here as of now, insert HR record. This is a piece of code we have written. Then what we are doing as of now for loop here, first time here, value will be 1. We are preparing a record. We are inserting the record. Where we are inserting inside the database. Where is the database here? In Salesforce server. Where is that Salesforce server? It may be US or UK, Germany, Japan, somewhere here. Now, so now from my local system, I'm preparing the first record. I'm going to that US. I'm inserting the record. Then I will come back to my for loop again here. I'm preparing the second record. I'm inserting the record here by interacting with that Salesforce server. Then I'm going to be come back to my for loop. Now the value will be 3. Third record it will prepare. It will insert the record. Then it is preparing this, okay, fourth record. It will insert. That means like that here, we are keep on inserting the record by record, record by record, record by record, one by one, one by one, one by one. In this kind of situation, if you keep on inserting record by record, record by record, record by record, then number of requests will be sending to the server, okay, very high. More number of requests will be sending to the server. My server will be busy with processing my requests. Then what about the other customers' request? Because within a single server, we have 8,000 customers are available. In that case, if one customer is making the server busy, remaining customers' requests will be getting, okay, in the waiting state. For that reason here, don't follow this approach over here. Then what we will do generally here? In supermarket, what will you do? Whenever we are entering into the supermarket, we'll take a basket or we'll take a trolley here. Depends upon the items which you want to purchase. You can take a basket or you can take a trolley. Go to the different places over here. Collect the items, whatever you want, place into the basket. Once all the items has been placed into the basket, then finally we can go to the billing counter, we can make the payment. This is the best approach we used to follow. Here also, I want to do the same approach over. As soon as whenever I'm entering into my method, I want to prepare a basket. Basket contains what? A group of items here. Here, what I'm going to do, I'm creating some records. What records? Hiring manager records. How many? 200 records here. So, to hold this 200 records, what we require? Collection. We require collection. That collection is nothing but your basket. Because inside the collection, that means prepare the record, place into the collection. Prepare the second record, place into the collection. Third record, place into the collection, like that, 200 items. So as soon as whenever I'm entering into the method, I'm preparing this list collection. List of what? Hiring manager. Why hiring manager? I'm storing HR records inside that. So that we are going to preparing collection. Hiring manager, LST, HR records equals to new list of hiring manager. So as soon as whenever I'm entering into the method, I'm going to be preparing a basket. That means I'm preparing a collection over here. Now, once a basket is available with me, then I will go to the for loop. I will go to that counter here. That means I'm going to that vegetables place. I'm taking some vegetable here. That means I'm preparing one record. Once a record is collected, prepared, then I would like to store into my collection. I'm not making the payment here. I don't want to insert the record directly here. I would like to add to the collection. How to add? LST HR records dot add, because this is a listed collection. How to add one element? By using add method. What is that record here? HR record. Okay. Then what we are doing here? Now the for loop initially it will be 1. It will prepare the first record, add it to the collection. Then for loop will be having the counter value 2. It will prepare the second record, add it to the collection. Then counter value will be 3. Prepare the third record, add it to the collection. Fourth record, add it to the collection. Fifth record, add it to the collection, like that. 200 records will be adding to the collection. Okay. So now, by end of this for loop execution, 200 records will be there inside your collection. Then outside the for loop, then we can insert the records. Insert LST HR records. That means all the 200 records we can insert in one shot by using that single insert statement. Clear? Understood the concept here? One time. In one go, we are inserting 200 records. In one go, you are making the payment for multiple items, right? Same passion. I'm inserting 200 records in by using one single DML statement. Okay.
So does it mean that
What
we don't
values are
want?
available that you want, you can specify. It's your choice. Right. We are making the values are static. If you want to pass the different values, use the parameters, pass the values over there. Okay. Now,
Sir,
so
so
in this
line number
case,
20.
before inserting this collection of records, I would like to check whether collection is empty or not. How to check the collection is empty or not?
Okay.
LST HR
LST.
records is empty. That means if it is not empty. If the collection is not empty, then I would like to insert this record. Because I don't want to waste my DML statements over here, I would like to utilize them very, very efficiently. If the records are available in the collection, then only we can able to insert. That means if you're having some items in the basket, then only go to the billing counter, stay in the queue, make the payment. If the basket is empty, no need to wait in the queue, no need to make the payment over here, no need to waste the time. So here also, I would like to check if the collection is not empty, then only I'm inserting the records. Clear?
Sir, I have a doubt, sir. So line number 20, it just creates the records, right? It collects all the
Now,
records.
now just it will be preparing the record, it will be adding to the collection. It won't insert the record. Insertion will be done in the line number 25.
Yeah, so line number 20
Okay?
creates the records.
Yes, just it will be prepared the record, it will store into the collection. Okay, that's it. It will prepare the record. It won't insert.
Okay, okay, so got it.
Uh,
Thank you, sir.
so because of this list
Now,
collection, does it mean that we are doing only one DML statement?
Yes, right. Because of this list collections only, we are going to be implementing bulkification mechanism. Without the help of this collections, we can't perform bulkification mechanism. Bulkification should be always done with the help of collections and by using iterative steps. Okay?
Sir, all 200 records will have the same value, sir, then.
Yes, similar kind of values will be there. If you want to pass different values, then we can use the help of parameters. We need to pass the value for each record, different values you can supply. Okay?
Okay. Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Now here I'm inserting these records. I'm executing this a piece of code. DML operations helper dot insert bulk records. Now let me show you. Click on execute button. Now I'm inserting the records. Now there is no error over here. Let's go back to your debug log file. When you come down to the last of the debug log file here, in the last of this debug log file. Now tell me, how many DML statements we have used? One out of 150. Salesforce has given the limit as 150. We have used only one. By using this single DML statements, how many number of DML records we have processed over here? 200 out of 10,000. Out of 10,000. That means each DML statement can process maximum 10,000 records, but as part of my requirement, we have processed 200. That means just by using the help of a single DML statement, we can process multiple records. This is called as bulkification mechanism. Instead of performing the DML operations on each record separately, add them to a collection. Once all the records has been added to the collection, perform the DML operations on collection of records at a time, which is called as bulkification or bulkify mechanism. Okay, always we have to follow bulkification mechanism upon performing the operations on your record so that we can save DML statements. Okay, clear? Now let's go back to your object now. Let's see, refresh the screen now. Let's see how many records are available. 50 plus. 50 plus means how many here? Let's see. Now 100 plus. 150 plus. 200 plus. Total how
260,
many records? 216 records we have
260.
inserted inside this object here. Okay. Already we have 16. Now we have inserted 200 records by using one shot over here. Okay. Clear? Let me place this code. Understood the concept here? This is how we can
Yes, sir.
insert multiple records inside your object at a time here by using insert statement. Okay? Hmm. Now that's what here. Don't write any DML statements inside the for loop here. So that we are not writing any DML statement inside the for loop. DML statements we have written outside the for loop in this place over here. Okay? Clear? So this is the concept of insert statement to insert multiple records inside your Salesforce object. Then, how to perform other DML operations on these records, we'll see in tomorrow's session. Tomorrow we'll see the practical concepts of remaining DML statements like as update and the delete and the undelete, upsert, merge, everything we'll see one by one. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.